What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Today I am excited. We're gonna chase some big pre-spawn bass. Now I can't lie to you guys, I'm a little jealous. I've seen tactical bassing go out there and catch 9, 10, 11 pounders. My boy Bobby caught a 9-pounder out of the Shenandoah River. So I want that for myself. Normally we come out here and we do a 5-fish challenge. Obviously I'd love to get 5 fish, but today the goal is to get 1 over 5 pounds. Come with me. I'm gonna tell you guys exactly what I'm doing. I'm gonna share all the tips and tricks I can with you guys, and let's see if we can get on a big one. Stay tuned, guys. All right, guys, let's get it started. I'm actually gonna start off with a bait that I do not throw a lot, but I wanna throw more, and that is the lipless crankbait. So this is a red Yozuri lipless crankbait. I'll give you a little bit of rundown of what I'm thinking today. So we've had really abnormally warm weather for the past 2 weeks. So a lot of these fish have probably moved to their pre-spawn areas, and some have probably even thought about actually pulling up and spawning. I think that with this cold snap coming the next 2 weeks after this, they're gonna be pushed back a little bit. But right now what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna go to the spots where they would normally spawn, and we're gonna try to find these big pre-spawn females. So I'm gonna go up here, I'm gonna toss this lipless around the flats. I also have a chatterbait. And once we get to this spawning areas, I'm gonna slow down and I'm gonna toss 3 or 4 different baits around so we can see if we can catch some pre-spawners who are thinking about pulling up, or maybe even some fish that are starting to make beds. Again, I think even if they were starting to make beds, they're gonna get pushed back because we have highs in the 40s next week. But as of right now, we're gonna take advantage of this warm weather. And again, today, the goal is to catch 1 5-pound bass. So let's see what we can do. I'd say the water temperatures have probably warmed up a good 8 to 10 degrees since the last time I've been here, which is about a month ago. So we're really gonna take advantage of that. Try to get on some hungry pre-spawners. So I got a big old swim bait, mag draft on there. Got on a Dobbins heavy rod. Really? Please don't tell me. Oh my gosh. Oh man. Like I was telling you before, the plan is to come to these areas where they spawn and then just fish them pretty slow. Like this area, I'm gonna spend about 45 minutes in this area here. I'm gonna fish it with different baits. So I have this big swim bait, I have a jerk bait, I have a jig. I've got a lot of different baits tied on, and I wanna experiment in this area because I know that they're working their way here. They may not be here yet, they may be out here in the middle, but I'm gonna spend my time right here in this area because I feel like it's the highest probability that they're somewhere close by. Oh. Oh gosh, my knot was stuck. Oh, that feels like a good one, guys. That feels like a good one. Let's go. Let's go, baby. Nothing crazy, but still a good one. Yep. Yep. Let's go. Weirdly hooked. Check that out, guys. That fish on that big swim bait. Fat pre-spawn fish. Exactly where we thought it would be. Look at that gut on that thing. Man, that is exactly what you want to see right now. Not the right length. Actually, looks like it's been caught before, but just exactly what we thought, and that makes me feel so confident. Let's get a weight and a length on it real quick and get it right back in. 2.3. Good fish, but not quite what we're after today. Today we are after at least a 5. I'm gonna line right back up on that spot and throw it exactly where it was. And what do we got for length? Got short fish, just insanely fat. 15 3/4. All right, another look at her. Healthy pre-spawn bass. There she is. And there she goes. And that might actually just be a giant male. Well, not giant, but the gut was giant. Oh, okay, buddy. All right, didn't know he was loose. And guys, we got it on the swim bait. 1/2 ounce head, chuck it out there, let it sink to bottom, wind it back nice and slow. When I was casting out here, I actually was bumping on some rock and it felt really nice. And then I thought I had a fish, but wasn't 100% sure. But we're gonna cast right back in that same spot because most likely there's a bunch of fish just stacked up on there. And again, we're in a little spawning flat area and we're just casting around this area with different lures. Cast it out there, let it sink to bottom. All we're doing is a steady retrieve. Steady retrieve. That's it. The more we can bump on bottom, the better. These fish are just gonna be stacked up out here. It's the way it is pre-spawn. And I saw that earlier on my graph. I saw that rock pile. I've actually had it marked for a while, but you know, there's a rock pile, leads to a drop off right near a spawning flat. Everything just looks good there. I would be shocked if we don't catch at least one more fish off this rock pile over here. Just absolutely shocked if we don't. Just trying different angles. So we were straight on. Now we're casting over here a little bit. We're just trying different angles. We know where those rocks are. We're getting vibration feedback on each cast. So we know we're doing it right. But we're just trying different angles now. Which angle do they want? There we go. Doesn't feel big, but it's a fish. Not bad, guys. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go, baby. Oh gosh. Not a bad one. Not a bad one. Not a bad one at all. Oh, let's go. Oh my gosh, guys. Just built right. Just built right. Barely hooked. Look at that. Surprised I didn't lose that one. Another one. Built like an absolute unit. And we found them. You know, we know exactly where they're at. We know they're on that spot down there. There's a few of them. So let's get a weight and a length on this one. Let's keep going. I'm just extremely excited right now. Extremely excited. 2.5. So we got 2.3 and 2.5. And I know there's some 4 and 5s down there. There's gotta be. Get a length on this one. Let's see what we got here. 16 and a half. Get a release. Another beautiful fish. Beautiful fish. Ladies and gentlemen, we got them. We know where they're at. We know what they want. We know what they're doing. Man, this is fantastic. Could not be more ecstatic right now. Super, super excited, guys. Again, I got that mag draft swim bait, 1/2 ounce head, heavy rod, 17-pound test. Probably could go a little bit heavier on the line, but that's just what I had tied on. And we're just smacking them right now. We are just smacking them. We know where they're at. We know what they want. We're figuring out what angle to cast at. We're remembering what angle we cast it at. I am pretty excited. And to be 100% honest with you guys, I think that's just a school of males up there. Now, there's probably some big females mixed in. Hopefully we find them, but to me, it really just seems like those fish are probably males. They're just pulling up here. As soon as the weather gets right, they're gonna go up there and start making beds. And since we know they're sitting here, I mean, most likely what we got is we have a drop off about 5 to 8 feet. Bass are sitting, seem to be on the deeper side of that drop off. We can try to replicate that in different spots. I don't know too many other spots that have that, but you know, if we can go graphing around and find one, then we can fish it. Got Let's go, baby. Back up a little bit. Let's go, boys. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Oh my gosh, this is incredible. Look at that one, guys. Not quite the 5 we're after, but man, it's pushing it. Look at that one, guys. Look at that brute. Look at that brute. Let's go. Like I said, I don't think it's quite 5. I want to say 4.5, but man, is that mag draft getting it done or what? Check that thing out. Just a healthy bass right there. All right, you guys know the drill. Get a weight, get a length. Let's see what we got here. Say probably 4.25 to 4.5. Let's see what we got here. Only 3.8. Wow. Usually I'm a little bit closer than that. I just stepped my game up, huh? Usually I'm a little bit closer than that. Definitely big-eyed her just a little bit. All right. Let's get a length on her. So 3 fish so far. Same exact bait, same exact spot. They're loving the mag draft today. Let's get a length on her. I got her, I'll say 18 3/4 just to be safe. Check it out, guys. Another solid one. Let's get a release on her. Beautiful fish. Beautiful pre-spawn bass. Come on, girl, you're free. See you later. Let's go, guys. Oh, readjust a little bit, cast on that same spot. Man, they are loaded up. Mag draft getting it done. Only bad thing about this is I only have one more of these. It's actually in a different color, but we're gonna catch as many as we can on it for right now. And we've got them dialed in. This makes me feel so good and so confident. I don't do too much offshore fishing, but you know, to be able to hit that spot over and over again, to be able to know that they're gonna be in this area. Again, we have the spawning flat behind us. They're just staging up right here. They're all staged up. They're ready to pull up. I would say in a week or two, they probably won't be here. They'll probably push back out further. But for right now, they're here and we're catching them. So couldn't be more blessed today. Just absolutely incredible to get out here and smack them like this so far. I mean, I think I've only been in the water 45 minutes to be 100% honest with you. Already caught 3 fish. So we're gonna keep going. We're gonna burn this spot to the ground today. And I'm just hoping and praying. There's a 5 on there, but I believe there's 5, 6, 7s, 8s, probably a 10 on there as well too. Again, my theory is it's probably a bunch of big males. Maybe the females are out a little bit further. So once we stop getting bit on the spot for about 20, 30 minutes, we'll go explore a little bit further and see if we can find them. But for right now, man, they are chomping and I'm having the time of my life right now. I really, really am. This is a perfect example of don't leave fish to find fish. I could be running all over the lake right now, but there's absolutely no point. Again, if I throw it here for about 30 minutes and don't get anything, you know, we'll change it up. But I still have other lures to try before I even do that. So don't leave fish to find fish. And don't get hung up in your spot so you have to blow it up either. 2 important rules. Just experiment around just for a second here. I want to try tossing this jerkbait around just a little bit. Oh, wow. Ouch. Oh my gosh, really? How did that happen? Airborne, baby. Let's go. It's probably a good time to tell you guys, when I fight fish, I typically like to thumb drag them. That's my preferred method of fighting them. So thumb dragging is just when you press the button down and you just let them slip a little bit of drag at a time. I'd rather my drag be a little bit too tight. Not tight enough to break them off, but a little bit too tight than too loose. So that's my preferred way to play them. Okay. Number 4. We're shrinking here a little bit. Right across the face. Okay. There we go. So a little bait change on them. Switched over to the jerk bait. Great pre-spawn lure. Casting in the same spot I was casting the other one. Trying to target some different fish. Said it before, but always bring your pliers when you're fishing treble hook baits. You never know when you're not going to be able to get it out very easily. I believe that is number 4. Again, we're shrinking, but nice healthy bass. Not the one we're after. So again, little micro experiment, you know, switch over to the jerk bait. Fish it 5 or 10 minutes, see what happens. Jerk bait's a great pre-spawn lure. Same spot. I know the fish are there. I know there's a ton of fish there. They're schooled up. I mean, you know, we've caught 4 so far. There's probably 30 down there, 20 down there. You know, you really don't know, but at the end of the day, there's a lot of fish down there, and they don't all want the exact same thing. I think I'm right over top of my spot too. Let's see. But micro experiment, switch it up a little bit, caught another one. So now for the jerkbait, 30, 45 minutes. If I don't get bit on it here in the next 20 minutes, I'll switch it out, but it's probably a likelihood that we are gonna get bit on it again. Pulled one off with a jerkbait. Gonna go back to the swim bait for a little bit. Try a deep crankbait out here in a second. Give this about 10-15 minutes again if I don't get bit on it. Go to a deep crank. Oh gosh, another one. There we go. Another one, guys. Oh gosh. Too fun. Too fun. Too fun. There we go. Landed another one. Another decent one. He was actually hooked good. I choked it. Think he wanted that bait. There we go. Mag draft. Gets it done again. 3-pounder, 2 3/4. Say it's 3. Let's get a weight. Fish number 5, 265. I'm just big eyeing them today, aren't I? All right, let's get a length. 17 on the nose. Beautiful fish. Let's get her back in the water. Let's get another one. Mag draft is getting it done today. Jeezy peasy. If I could anchor, I think we'd even be in better shape, but I'm not gonna complain about our results so far. Only thing is, we haven't gotten that 5 yet. Where's she at? Where's she at? Working through all these little ones. Need Big Mama. Tell you what though, it was fun swinging this heavy rod and setting the hook on him. I'm having a blast today. If you guys are enjoying the content, please subscribe. Today is actually my birthday. Today's actually March 2nd, so it's my birthday. For my birthday, I would love for you guys to subscribe to the channel. I make this content to entertain, but also make it to teach you guys. And I really like teaching. I really like helping develop people, especially when it's something that I really enjoy. So subscribe. Much more good content to come. I'm gonna make as many videos as I can this year, be more consistent. I wanna be one of the people that you guys go to for this information, so I'll end the shameless plug there. I'll tell you what we're gonna do. We're gonna work our way up here. There is more of a rock drop off up here, so I'm gonna slowly creep my way up here, try to find as many rocky areas as I can, and then we're gonna come right back. I don't even think I'm gonna run down the lake today. I think it's gonna be mainly spent in this area. I don't want to leave fish to find fish. but I have one more spot up here I want to try. I can be back here in probably 30-45 minutes, honestly. And I'm wondering too if the big girls, thinking they're still pushed back up here a little bit. I think a lot of what I'm catching is just bigger males, to be honest with you. I think the females aren't too far behind, but I think if I just creep up little by little, I think I have a good chance to run into a big female. Another one. Small one, it feels like. Those fish right there. Might be growing. Might be growing, okay. Look at all those fish down there, guys. At this point, I'm just gonna, oh gosh, that was not a smart move. Oh yeah. Oh, look at that. Blind. Look at that, guys. Another one. Probably not quite pushing 3, but built right. Oh my gosh, those fish are just stacked down there, guys. What do we got? 2.6. 2.6. All right. Nice little bag going on here. Nice little bag going on here, fellas. Man, this is incredible, guys. Mag draft is smacking today. Cannot believe this swim bait's still intact, honestly. To be 100% honest, I don't think I've ever had this much success on a swim bait. My most successful day on a swim bait I've ever had. And I'm having an absolute blast. It's just so fun right now. It's cool when you know exactly what they want and the type of area they're in. You know, you can really put it together. As long as this weather holds up like it is now, I honestly think we have a really good chance of maybe even breaking our PB today. My PB is about 7.5, and I genuinely believe that we have a chance to break that today. I would not be shocked if we broke it. All right, now I have to make a really tough decision right now. It's actually not so tough because we've caught 6 fish back there, but there's another spot up here I'd like to fish. I don't know of any rock over there though, but it's a spawning flight over there, and I feel like they're gonna be pulled up, but I just don't know where they are. So do I go down there and try to fish for new fish, try to experiment around, or do I go back to where we were before? Again, for me today, it's a pretty easy decision. I'm gonna go down here, I'm gonna continue to fish for the fish that we were already fishing for. But if that bite is not there, you know, if I try this bait, if I try the crankbait and it's just not there, then we're gonna run as fast as we can up the lake and try to replicate this bite up there. Oh gosh. Come on, come on, come on. Yep. Okay, I knew that. I knew it was gonna be there. Don't think it's that big, but it's fighting like it is. Nope, okay. All right, it's a point that leads straight out, and it's right on the point where she was supposed to be. And this is exactly why I have braid and a heavy rod, because if you get a giant fish, you're gonna have a tough time penetrating that gill plate. But with braid and a heavy rod, not a problem. Another fat pre-spawner. Lots and lots of males from the looks of it. Again, those males will pull up first and the females. These females are probably pretty smart. They probably realize, hey, it's not quite time yet. I know this weather's tricking us. It's not April. All right, guys, I gotta stick with my gut. I know those fish are back there, and I shouldn't do this, but we're making a run. Gotta run to this end of the lake. There's another spawning flat up there. We gotta go for it. I was right about the other spot. I just have a gut feeling. I need to go try it. At least while this wind's up like this, I gotta go try it. And this might be the wrong decision. This might be the thing that cost me that 5-pound bass today, but it's just what my gut's telling me. And I gotta go with my gut's telling me for right now. So I'm gonna shoot up the lake and I'll see you guys when we get there. Chatterbait a little bit. I don't know if that grass band. All right. Oh, spinnerbait. And I highly recommend everybody at least try offshore fishing. I know a lot of times you have to have a fish finder to be somewhat successful, but you know, if I would have come out here and pitched the jig around all day, I might have got 2 or 3 bites, but I really don't think I would have had the same caliber day I had coming out here and fishing offshore. And so I'm a beat the bank kind of guy. I love flipping a jig, Texas rig, Cinco, you know, I'm that kind of guy. That's my preferred fishing style. But at the same time, if that's not where the fish are, you're kind of beating a dead horse at that point. So definitely get into offshore fishing, get some decent electronics. I have a Ray Marine, but probably recommend like a Lowrance if you don't have a unit now. And go out there and give it a try, you know. Find those hard bottom areas, throw different baits. They're the same baits you would throw on the bank in the hard bottom areas. Just have to go out there and experiment around. Oh, I love that spinnerbait because I can bomb that thing. I want to say it's a 3/4 ounce or a 1 ounce spinnerbait, probably a 3/4 ounce. I'm just gonna wind it nice and slow on the bottom. Lots of shad and gizzard shad in this lake, and I think that's why they were crushing that Swimbait, because they eat a lot of gizzard shad. So, you know, if I have another shad imitator bait, I think we might be able to be successful with that. It's pretty cool because the more I fish this spot, the more I learn it. The more I learn how close I need to be, how far away I need to be. Pretty good feeling. And this reel is the exact same way as my Swimbait reel. 75% braid, 25% fluoro. Sometimes when I cast, you know, when I'm close to the bank, no braid comes out. But when I bomb these casts, braid does come out. And I really want that braid to come out on these long casts, because when I set that hook, I need that no stretch in the line when that lure is so far away. So I always recommend braid to fluoro for almost every rod that you do, unless it's a straight braid rod. If you're fishing jerk baits, I would recommend 50% braid and the rest fluorocarbon. If you're fishing swim baits or you're fishing moving baits, I recommend 75% braid and the rest fluorocarbon. And then if you're fishing jigs or you're fishing Texas rig, I recommend 90% braid and 10% fluorocarbon. So, and of course those don't have to be exact. It's not that big of a deal, but that's my recommendation. I recommend a blood knot. I recommend learning how to tie the blood knot. That has really stepped up my fishing game. And of course you don't have to do this, guys. You can go out with a cane pole and some floss and you can catch fish. But in order to maximize your gear, in order to spend less money, I highly recommend doing braid to fluorocarbon. Cast a little bit more on the drop off over here. Excuse me, a little bit more on the flat over here. Might have moved up. Okay, that's a good call out. That's a good call out right there. There we go. Okay, makes sense. Nothing big, but we'll take it. Take it. It's a fish. Buddy. There we go, guys. What in the world? He's not even hooked. He's not, what is going on here? What in the world? Careful, I don't want to hurt him, but how in the heck did you do that, bud? You completely choked it. I'm so confused right now. Never seen that before. There we go. Another healthy male. Seems to be the story of the day. That was a pretty funny call, guys. Like I was saying, I was casting into the channel and I wasn't really getting anything, and I was like, well, maybe they pulled up to feed. First cast up on the flat. There they are. So let's see if that's a onesie type deal, or let's see if that's a little bit of a pattern. I figured the spinnerbait would probably be on today. All right, guys, so what an absolute blast today was. Thank you guys so much for coming along. I really appreciate you guys who are still tuned in to the end of the video. That means a lot. That actually really helps the channel. If you also drop a like, that also really helps as well. So let's talk about today, guys. My theory coming in today, and what I told you guys this morning, was they're probably not on beds yet, but they're most likely staging up and getting ready to be there. And that's exactly where they were. We experimented around a little bit this morning. The mag draft is actually something I don't throw too much, but I tied it on last night thinking it might be a good bait. We were actually just blind casting around a little bit, and we ended up finding the juice. So what we were on is we were on an underwater point. It actually dropped off on both sides. So that was a really good spot. I'm glad I found that. Definitely marked that on my fish finder, and I will be back there for sure. And like I was telling you guys in the video, if you find a good spot where they are pre-spawn, that's also going to be a good spot where they are post-spawn. So when it comes to mid-April to mid-May, you fish those spots, you're not only going to find the pre-spawners, you're going to find the post-spawners as well. Let's do a little recap today of what went well and what we could have done better. So obviously what went well, we found them on the mag draft. We stayed on that spot for a good while. We were catching fish left and right. We were having a blast. I experimented around a little bit, which we'll get to here in a second, but I was really happy to find that spot. I was really happy that my plan panned out exactly the way I wanted it to. Now, what went wrong? So obviously we were on the juice and we ended up running down lake. Now, my gut told me to run down lake, so I'm glad I did. And I'm extremely glad I did because it's actually changed my mentality on things. So now, as opposed to thinking of it in a fun fishing aspect, I'm gonna think of it in a tournament aspect from now on. If I was in a tournament, what would I do here? And if I was in a tournament, I would have stayed on that spot and I would have keep fishing that spot for probably the entire 4 hours. So knowing what I know now, if I find a spot like that and I have a bite like that, I'm gonna hang out there a little bit longer. But this is why I love doing the recaps with you guys, because I'm still learning. I'm not a perfect fisherman. I still have a lot of stuff to learn, and I wanna teach you guys along the way so you can learn from my mistakes as opposed to having to make your own mistakes. But anyway, guys, thanks for tuning in, and I cannot wait to see you guys in the next one.